What's going on, y'all? It's Financial Fitness here, and I want to talk to you guys about your FICO score. What's important to note and how you can increase your FICO score to get to that 850 mark, if that is your goal. Now, there are 5 factors that go into account with your FICO score. Number 1 is your payment history. 2 is your credit usage. 3 is your credit history. Number 4 is the account mix. And 5, finally, is the type of debt you use. So let's go into the first one, which is your payment history. This is really vital to get down pat because this accounts for 35% of your FICO score. So please make on-time payments in full, not the minimum payments. We'll get into that later. Number 2 is your credit usage. This is a percentage of your overall debt that you use on a month-to-month basis. So let's say you have a credit card that maxes out at $5,000 and you use $500. That is 10% of your credit being used each and every month that you're paying on your statement balance. And the goal of increasing your credit score is to decrease your credit usage. So I would be in between 1 to 5% of credit used every single month, just because you're not overutilizing debt, and number 2, it doesn't look like you're just spending like crazy and you're not trying to get a bunch of points by using your credit card. You should really be using your credit card mainly to pay you by taking care of your expenses and paying you the extra, later on in the year when you want it. So number 3 is the length of history. Now, if you're young like me, this one's going to hit you in a tough spot because it hits you for 15% of your FICO score, but there's nothing you can really do about it except extend the life of your credit. So what I would do is just make sure to keep, one credit card if you are going to keep it, and just continue to make those continuous payments. If you have a student loan, make those payments on time and make them in full, and this will just take care of itself. Number 4 is your credit mix. Now, this is kind of not so important. It accounts for 10% of your credit score. And personally, if I were hit in one of these areas, it would be this area, because 1, I really don't care about opening up new accounts. I am much more keen on paying my balance every month and having a low credit usage and increasing the length of history on credit. So when you open up a new credit account, you're essentially lowering your average credit history. So by increasing 1, you're heavily, pulling the lever downwards in another area. So you want to be careful of that. There's other people out there who will talk about how you can leverage this to the best of your ability while keeping a good credit history average. I won't get into that because I personally don't believe you should be opening up new accounts. I think you should probably have maybe 1 or 2 at most. And the last one we're going to talk about is the types of credit you can have. This accounts for, again, 10% of your credit score, and quite frankly, it's not that important, again, 10%, but like I said, don't try to increase one area of your FICO score when it decreases another. So that's just a good tip for you. Another thing about your FICO score is that this thing should not be the significance of your financial life, okay? Your FICO score is mainly to be a tool so you can get lower interest rates later in life when you're trying to buy a home. That is literally the only reason you should care about your FICO score. And quite frankly, I honestly don't care so much about my FICO score. I see it every month. I'm like, cool. I just send my credit card payment and I'm like, all right, pay me at the end of the year when I've made all my, my living expenses paid off on your credit card. I don't care if you could pay me 1.5% for all my living expenses if I keep them low. So that's my personal opinion on your FICO score and credit usage. Another thing is people argue about the points. You need to spend more to earn more points. But let me swing it to you this way. Say you got $100 to live your life regularly for an entire year. You just got paid $100 to do that. Now let's say you got paid $150, but you had to live your life and work 2 jobs. Like, would you rather just live your regular life and get paid $100 instead of having to do all this work in order to get more points, in order to have more money at the end of the year? So I personally think it's kind of crazy to just give someone practically free credit and then have them just go hog wild in a store. So that's my personal opinion on that. But anyway, I hope you found this video helpful, and like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I really, really, really want to help you guys understand finance and, more importantly, have more peace in your life. Awesome. Take care.